Hi, this is Friday, April 3rd, 2020, and we are beginning our writing. And I have gone ahead and taken the privilege of our notes. Our notes are over there in the back, and of what we're going to need today. And then I went ahead and started writing our paper. So my paper is going to look a little bit different. And I also uploaded some assignments in the classroom. And some of you have already been in there. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Everyone in my classroom for New Learning has been invited. And I know Miss Thomas, I know Miss Brown is working on getting the rest of the New Learning students invited as well. Okay, so you're going to see assignments in there. You're going to see assignments addressed to you. You're going to submit them. We're going to grade them. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through it because we're creating, as I said online, a Sebastian, it's either going to be picture book, it can be a novel, it can be a research paper, it could be overall a series because we have enough of you that are writing, which I'm excited. That would be fantastic. And we could, people are going to ask us, what did we do over break? We wrote and published a book or books or a series. We could have different chapters from each of you. So I'm just going to give you the basic, but you know as well as I do that writing never stops and you need to practice writing. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to practice, perfect opportunity for you to earn that 100%. If you're falling short of the 100% and you're always in the 60s and 70 percentile, then this is your chance to fine-tune that process, fine-tune those elements, so that way, just like in math, you're going to practice or practice your multiplication tables because the tape testing is coming when we come back. The same in New Learning, that you're going to be taking those proctor tests and those final tests, and they'll be reinstated when we get back. So a lot of things have changed over the course of the last 2 weeks, or last week, I'm losing track of time. I have to look at the date to actually remind me what day it is too. So journaling will help that as well. Your notes, and if you see I have blank spots in here that you're going to fill in, because as a team, as a writing and a writer and an author that you are becoming, then we're going to write this together. And so we could have different sections, we could have different books, we could have plural, we could have more than one, we could have one, it depends. We're going to see how this all folds together. I don't know. I have planned it, goal objective, for you to write 100% of the time and to earn 100% A's on your writing. That means we're following the rubrics. And the rubrics I've uploaded, and this is one of them. It's a really long one, you'll see. It's the 6 Traits of Writing. This is from the 6 Traits website, and this is the most current from 2018. You've also seen this on the website or on our Google Classroom. I've uploaded this. This is the stages of writing, process-based writing. I went ahead and just took a picture, and I uploaded the one I have here because I really like it. You can do your own and color your own if you want. That's fine if you don't like my colors, because these colors are not like, these are my colors that I did. You can make your own. This one is the traits of writing, and it's a rubric organized of all the traits in one page, which I really like. And at a glance, you can it gives you an overview, and that's what I was reading from before, of exactly what you need for each trait. Remember, we've only got ideas, and today we're starting to work on voice. Voice is going to be your words, what you say. Okay, these are my words here. You notice the blank sections are for you to put your words in there. So you practice that voice. You practice that, use words that appeal to your senses. And I have used some of the words here, but not all of them, because I want you to help me write this. This is not my book. This is our book. So we're going to do it together. Use vivid verbs. I don't have a lot of vivid verbs in here. I have some, but do you know a difference between a dead verb and a vivid verb? You can look it up, Google it. This is not like a test or anything. This is an assignment, so you're going to practice it. But once you know it, you don't forget it. That's the beauty of it, and you take it as your own. You have it personally for you. Okay, our notes are back here, so I can always refer to my notes. I always keep them close at hand because those are valuable notes that we did together. That's information. It's not complete sentences. This is complete sentences. Am I going to add complete sentences? Sure I am. Am I going to possibly add 2 or 3 more pages of my introduction? I could, if there's a lot of really great ideas that you guys submit in the assignments and that we write and we include them, then this could easily become 2, 3, 4 books. How cool is that? We could fill up a library, create our own books, and that's what we did on break. So we practiced real world application writing with guidance, and you guys are pros when you come back. You guys do an outstanding job anyway. I'm really proud of you because you guys are right on the money. You guys don't like it when you get 60s and 70%. You know the difference between 30, 40, 50, and 60%, and you get upset when you get then earn them because you know how to study now. You know how to use the close reading. You know how to do the academic vocabulary, highlight the words in it, put your own notes like we did back here, and put your notes in your words, not in a dictionary encyclopedia, and I hear your voice. And you use the words that you've learned, but I still hear your voice. That's so important. That's not plagiarism. That's creativity. That's doing what an author and a writer does every single day. Every author that writes a book starts like this, and they make notes and scribbles all over everything. I wish I still had my examples of Gary Paulson, because when I did Iditarod with my students and we tracked the mushers, and this year it was a crazy race. They had the most snow, and snow was freezing. I don't want to get off on a bunny trail, but Gary Paulson wrote the books because of the experiences. He interviewed the mushers. He interviewed and had that same experience. So this is why he wrote those books. A lot of people don't know that, but you do if you know the Iditarod and you follow that race, which is a real world. It's the last great race. They even canceled the race halfway through it this year, and the mushers decided they were going to continue on because the race is due to the fact a plague virus that is going on in this country right now. That race began because the same thing happened way back, I think it's 1912 or 1917. No one could get to those villages except by musher dogs. And that's why we have an Iditarod race, because they celebrate the mushers teams that delivered the vaccines and delivered the medicine to all those remote villages by dog sled. And they were out there by themselves in remote and blizzards and everything. They have to survive. So it's really a remarkable thing. That was the best part of my teaching career, is actually having my students and I track the Iditarod and keep track of it. And we wrote books and we wrote articles. And some of the stuff that they use in the Iditarod, my classroom. It's like pretty cool. Okay, so let's get back to writing. Okay, so the 6 traits of writing, I started off by having the title very nicely and written at the very top. Remember, I didn't really do the title until the end, till the very end of the note taking. I didn't do the thesis statement to the very end. So what I did is I went ahead and started with that quote. I love that quote so much, and that's I didn't give credit here for the quote in the beginning, but I will on my Works Cited page because it's Freud, and it's a Freudian thing, yes. However, Freud made a very good example, is that my cats came out of nowhere and became my everything. And they are now. My cats are my everything. My animals are my everything. They're very important to me. You know, I treat them as well, if not better than the kids when they were growing up, but all my kids are grown. So my animals are my everything. So I did an explanation point behind it because I want to grab my reader. I want to grab them and say, hey, you need to pay attention to this story. This story is not your typical story, which is voice. That is part of voice. And if you look at the rubric that I posted, then you'll see that this is out of a 6 point. Remember I said 5 or 6 point. And so this is out of a 6 point exceptional. 5 is experience, but I want this paper to be exceptional. So employs a tone that constantly appropriate for purpose and audience. Saying that, we clarify and validate. Well, Sigmund Freud, I'm sorry, he is going to validate that that quote is authentic because it is from him. So what I'm going to do is add that before I type it up. I'm going to have to add at the very end my what? parentheses to add Sigmund Freud to that. My cats come out of nowhere and became my everything. So that should get my reader's attention, saying, hey, pay attention to this. Sebastian, our rescue kitty, is not like a typical rescue kitty. He came out of nowhere. Nobody even knew he was there. And all of a sudden, he's everybody's everything. He's our everything because we're writing about him now. And so we're actually going to incorporate and use what we know and then go ahead and add details to it, and they're going to be your details because I've added mine, and you're going to add your details on the assignments and upload it online. So some of the assignments look really simplistic, like simplistic or simple sentences. Don't let that fool you. Make sure that you have those details intact because whether we use them or not, they're there, and it's a great note-taking. It's great resources. So that way, when you get into the TABE and the reading and they ask you to write, you're going to think details. That's going to be there. Wait, I have to have vivid verbs. I have to grab my audience's attention. I have to make sure that they have a purpose. They know my purpose. They know my objective, and they know my goal. My goal is to earn an A on this, correct? 100%. If there was no grade attached to this, though, then my objective and my goal would be I want as many people to read and look at our rescue kitty as this is once in a lifetime. This is special. This is not your typical rescue kitty at all. And Sebastian is because of Auntie Wilson. Hi, Miss Wilson. She's the one who named him, so I kept his name. Remember I asked you to look up what his name means. So you're going to put that on your list of assignments. In the assignment section of the Google Classroom, you're making a list of all the important facts. Don't be too quick to submit it. And if you do, email me if you submit it too quickly, because all the way through this, we're going to be adding to that list. You're not just going to plunk down 3 things and submit it and expect to get an A, because I'm going to send it back. And I'm going to say no, because an A is, exceptional, and 3 things is not exceptional. So hang on to it. Don't be too quick to submit it. There's no due date on it, correct? There's none at all. I know, because I just put it in. So I want you to add to it because we're going from general to specific. General to specific. So generalized about Sebastian. Back here, we did it at the very beginning. Remember, general to specific. So we're going to be very specific and detailed, vivid verbs we want. We want constantly uses appropriate level of formality. Don't want slang. And if you have slang, then we're going to have to put in dialogue. Okay, so make sure you put it in talking marks, okay, or dialogue. So that way we can add it because it does fit in with voice, but it has to be added in the sentences a specific way. You just can't shove it into a sentence and expect it to work. Remember, we're planning this out. Planning. Everything is systematic here. We're putting everything in the order that we want it to be. And you guys are going to add to this. So I have 27 in my class. I know Miss Thomas has 20 some and Miss Brown has 20 some. We have 50 some odd students, and there's 42 other students that have just been enrolled that are going to be coming online as well. So we have a total of 79 in new learning that are going to be adding to this. Cool beans, right? It's like, this is exciting to me. It's like, this is what teaching is all about. This is how I love to teach. Yay! Okay, focus. Yes, I will. Frequently interacts, engages with the reader. I think I am, but you're going to be as well. Demonstrates clear commitment to the topic. Sebastian Rescue Kitty. Everything is correlating and referring back to him. Establishes ownership of topic. I also uploaded 2 photos of Sebastian in bed with me watching TV, and it's like he was character. He keeps going after my feet, and then he sits there and plops over, and he literally will do somersaults, and he'll chase his own tail. And he will flip over and fall out of bed, and the bed is up pretty high. He'll fall out, and he'll come right back up again. It's like he's hilarious. I'll take a video for you guys, okay? But it's funny. Reveals unique personality in a manner that enriches the text. Hopefully you can hear my personality. Hopefully you can hear me having fun and how he is a delight. Remember back here, I have a My Delightful timeline, and I put paragraph by paragraph, and that should be uploaded to Google Classroom as well. You're going to see that My Delightful timeline is actually correlated to the words that I'm using in the story too. Okay. Frequently demonstrates personality, enriches the text, which is what I want to do, which is the meaningful, getting his teeth. Baby teeth can break easily. And Sebastian, in your own words, explain and describe what you're going to do. And then you're going to help me with the transition sentence, which is down at the bottom here. And we're going to do that at the very end of this video. And that's going to be on Monday. Okay, because then if we go back to ideas, establishes a clear and focused significant main idea. We have that. With original insights that is fully developed. We're developing them. Okay, and I'm taking it again off the rubric that I uploaded to the course so you can print it off. Okay, all the handouts are for you to print off and make your own. Okay, it conveys a clear, focused, complex, and original main idea that drives the piece. What's driving the piece? Sebastian is, and what we know about Sebastian and what I'm going to teach you about Sebastian. Supports the main idea convincingly with highly specific, credible information. We have a works cited page that has 5 sources, and you're going to create a bunch more sources that we're going to add to it. I predict by the time we're finished, we're going to have over 20 sources, different sources, and 20 different items like articles or whatever that are going to pertain to our little kitty. In arguments, grade 7 and up. So you started argument in 7th grade, whether you remember it or not. You have all the basics for argument. Remember, everyone can persuade, not everybody can argue. It depends on the word and the vocabulary you use. So 7 plus thoroughly develops and addresses counterclaim in an original way. So we are going to make sure our counterclaim is in here by the time we're finished. I only have one sheet. This is our first paragraph. We have 7 more to go, if not more. This is going to be a long writing piece, huh? But you're going to have argument here. You're going to know what argument looks like, general to specific. We're not just going to throw stuff on the page and let it stick, because a lot of you do that and try to write a paper and wonder why you can't get an A. This is why, because you didn't formulate it, you didn't think it through, you didn't actually put it into this perspective and follow the rubric, correct? Successfully engages readers in exploring ideas on multiple levels. We have multiple levels. We have notes that are outstanding. Incorporates very smoothly. We're going to put transition sentences is down at the bottom here. You're going to help me write the transition sentence so that one paragraph smoothly transitions to the second, not cut and paste, smoothly, okay? Includes proper acknowledgement sources. I have 5 of them. You're going to add additional ones. And let's see, fully addresses readers' knowledge, questions, and biases on multiple levels. That's part of argument as well. We're going to pull into this. Connects and enhances ideas. I think I already mentioned that one. Fully addresses the reader's knowledge and questions. Some of you may not know about kitties, or you think you know, but you really don't know. So by the time we're done, we're going to have dialogue for voice, use irony. You're going to learn what that is on Monday, and specifies rather than generalizes, specific. Specifies means specific, not generalize. So let's go ahead and read this because I'm at 18 minutes already. It goes by really fast, that 30-minute mark, okay? And again, all these rubrics that I'm using are online, and I keep referring back to this one because it gives me an outline and it lets me know what I'm doing in my trait, because we already did add details right from read alouds. Remember the read aloud that we had for your example? Sorry, had to get it, almost fell. The day the crayons quit. The day the crayons quit, I love, because the day that the crayons quit is vivid, has vivid verbs in it. You get to see the drawing, and he also uses the verbs and the voice and terminology in here to actually create life for the crayons. Those crayons are like they're living, but they're not. And it's everything is down to earth. That's what we're doing for Sebastian, but Sebastian is a real kitty, okay? So my cats come out of nowhere and become my everything. Sebastian is that kitty who wanted to survive as his instinct kept him alive. I can honestly say Sebastian is a joy. He is a delight, refers to my timeline that I have up on Google Classroom. or should be there. A kitty that knows what he wants and lives up to his name. Sebastian means part of your list. It's the assignment that's in the Google Classroom. You're going to finish it because hopefully you all come up with the same meaning, but I like it because there's different versions and some of you might, let me just leave it at that. I want to see what you guys come up with. That'll be fun. General to specific. He loves his soft, wet food and does not matter if it's chicken, turkey, beef. He doesn't care, but he loves that. He sits right in front of the refrigerator when I go and get it. Wish I had somebody else here to videotape it, but I don't. So he sits right there in front of the refrigerator when I go and get his turkey, and I'll have to show it to you on Monday, a container of it so you can see what it looks like because I cut it up, and it actually has measure on it, and the vet suggested it because it's really easy to feed a kitty his age. Remember, he's 6 weeks old. So he's just little still, and his little teeth are not all in. He's got some in the bottom here, and the ones at the top, he's got big gaps in between that are not coming in yet, but he's got little teeth in the back that are not coming in, so he likes to like nip and chew. Funny. Sebastian loves his food warm, not hot. It has to be a certain temperature. I'm not kidding. He will not eat it if it's too hot. He will not eat if it's too cold. If it's a certain temperature, then because it must feel good on his teeth and it must be like pacifier because he has other toys that he gnaws on, which is fine. I mean, I have all the toys here because I have the other 2 cats. So I have a total of 3 cats right now. But he's getting his teeth, and you can tell that sometimes he'll bite down differently. So I don't want to give him too much dry, even though I keep it in a bowl and he can go there and eat it if he wants to crunch on it. But usually I wet down his dry, so that way it's in with warm water so that his teeth get massaged. They don't hurt then. Okay. Baby teeth that can break easily. Here's the section here I want you on your list assignment to write down and make a list of all the things that you've learned about kitty's baby teeth, okay? And put it on your list of assignments as well. That means you have definition for Sebastian and that you are to do the research on kitty's baby teeth and exactly what food can they eat, what food can't they eat. If they eat too hard of a dry food, their teeth can break. Okay, that's the same thing that we learned back here for note taking on baby kittens and baby humans too, that we need each other to coexist. And we did that yesterday. Sebastian eats twice a day and has treats 3 times a week. His treats are dry, so I don't want to give him too many treats, but he does eat twice a day, morning and at night. And the rest of the time, he's either playing or sleeping. One of the two. He doesn't do a whole lot of anything, but he plays. He races through the house, throws his toys up in the air, pounces, and he does all of that, which we're going to get into too when we get into our 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th paragraphs. Remember, we had that back there in our note taking that we did. So we took him off milk, according to the vet. As I found out, it is not that good after a certain age. According to the vet, he only needs exact amounts. So I'm very careful in how I measure it and what I give him in a bowl. And the bowl has to be a certain size or he won't eat out of it. If it's too big, he won't eat. If it's too small, he won't eat. It has to be, so he has his own special bowl that he eats out of. Name on your list the exact amounts for his age. So I want you to do the research for 6 weeks. And now this next week, he's going to be 7 weeks. So you're going to put 7 weeks. And then the week after, you're going to put 8 weeks. And the week after that, you're going to put 9 weeks. So if you turn in the assignment too early, you have an incomplete. I'm going to take it out and you will have a 0 or an F because we're going to count the number of weeks, right? We want to know what food is appropriate at what age group. Can you do it ahead of time? Sure you can. Are you going to gather that research? Absolutely. I want you to gather it because I want that information to be put down here, which it says explain. Explain means sentences, plural, more than 3. Describe Sebastian in your own words, more than 3. So I'm already talking about 6 sentences just from you, each of you, and that's barely getting by. That would be a 60%, maybe 50. Because I really want a lot of details. I want an explanation. I want you to do the research at that age for those puppies. Sorry, I did it right again. Kitties, okay? So that way you see the the progression of age at 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and 8 weeks as we write our story. So then when I do want you to upload, when I do want you to turn that assignment in, then all of a sudden we have a wealth of information and we can pick and choose which one's going to be the best for this book, or we're going to write 3 or 4 different books too. Miss Brown and Miss Thomas, I'm sure will help. They have their own videos and they have their own assignments as well. And if not, it should fit perfectly with what we're doing. So it'll be fun. Transition sentence. A transition sentence is, remember, it's a flow movement from this paragraph to the next. I don't know what this is yet. I don't know what this is yet. I don't know what this is yet. But now it's on video and you can go ahead and read it, what it is, so you can create your own transition sentences. And I want you to create those transition sentences so that we can actually discuss and talk about it on the videos that I make. And then so when I do ask you for it, and I will probably have an assignment, I'm thinking an assignment separate just for transition sentences so I can see all your examples. And then from those examples, I'll pick or combine, and we'll put it in the sentence for this one book. Now, if we have so much information that we have to write 2 or 3 more books, we have time. We have a lot of time, and we can make one a picture book, and we can make one for 3rd graders, we can make one for 6th graders, and have a lot more information on it. Because as you know, there's different requirements at different ages, just like rubrics tell us exactly what the requirements are for 5-6 scoring, what the requirements are for beginning, which is 1, you get nothing. I'm sorry, you don't. That's 0 and F. I've never done a score. I've never done a 1 score at all, only because I tell my students, you put pen and paper. You wrote and you scribbled something on paper, and that's about it. Emerging is 1st grade level. Beginning writing is like kindergarten. Emerging is 1st grade. Developing is about 2nd, 3rd grade level. Capable is for 4th grade on up. And then 4th grade on up, depending on the level you're at, capable, experienced, and exceptional. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm in 6th grade level, I'm an exceptional writer. You could be at 10th grade and not be an exceptional writer. You can be at 10th grade and be an emerging and developing writer. You can be at 12th grade and graduate from high school and still be an emerging and developing writer, because no one's taken the time to guide you. No one's taken the time to show you. And this is the beauty of 6 traits, which I love, and the backward design, which is in New Learning, which is all about supporting you as the student, you learning. So when you learn it, you take it with you. So that way then you know for the rest of your life, and you can actually apply it and use it in your writing. This is only our beginning. That was our beginning, and we're going to take it and put it into our story, which is great. Sentence fluency, we're going to look at on Monday, and I want to go ahead and get you ready for that so you can start thinking. I'm going to do the same thing for sentence fluency for paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. We might not get through those 3 paragraphs. I only got through 1 paragraph today. So hopefully you're keeping your journals, which is an idea, and writing in various modes. Hopefully you looked up the modes of writing, and if not, I'll walk you through it. Hopefully you got your read aloud like I had mine, and you're reading to your younger brother and sister, or we're going to create our own, one of the two. That's all ideas, because we're all writers and authorities, correct? Sentence fluency is what we're going to focus on Monday a little bit when we do paragraph 2, and we're going to come back to this one, and we're going to circle the voice that you hear in the paragraphs here that I already finished, but then I want this, and this. You would have time over the weekend or next week. Weekend, you should be relaxed. And then next week, start writing and making the list so we can add our vivid verbs and finish voice. So you notice how we're overlapping. We did ideas strictly by themselves. Then I went ahead and I introduced word choice to you, but then I went over and did voice, because they kind of go together. They hook together. Then I'm going to fluency to remind you, this is where we're going. This is the roadmap. This is how writing is messy. It goes up and down like a roller coaster ride. But we have our basics down. We have our planning down. That I can't emphasize enough. Sentence fluency, use a variety of beginning sentences. So when you're making your list, you might want to start beginning my sentences. What words are you going to start your sentences with? Don't have he, she, they. Okay, 29:37, time is almost up. Make sure I use compound complex sentences. Google it. Find out what a compound complex sentence is. It's important. You want to use fragments, but not a lot of them. I like prepositions. They flow better. Your voice is heard better. Your voice doesn't get drowned out or things get all twisted around in your sentences and they don't make sense. Make sure you use a variety of sentence lengths as well. And I'm 6 minutes over and it's still counting. So you guys have a great weekend. Please stay at home, follow the directions, be safe, and I'll see you guys on Monday, okay? I love this. This is great. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Thanks for doing your very best. Talk to you Monday. Bye.